Coco Gauff beats Iga Swiatek for fourth match in a row, but USA then dumped out of United Cup by Poland. Coco Gauff continues dominance of Iga Swiatek but then loses in doubles as defending United Cup champions USA knocked out by Poland in semi-finals in Sydney. Aryna Sabalenka, eyeing successive Brisbane International titles after making third straight final, will face Marta Kostyuk. Coco Gauff beat Iga Swiatek for the fourth match in a row to lay down a marker ahead of the Australian Open but then lost in the mixed doubles as defending United Cup champions USA were dumped out by Poland at the semi-final stage in Sydney. Gauff defeated Swiatek 6-4, 6-2 to level the tie at 1-1 after Taylor Fritz had been beaten by Hubert Hurkacz in the men's singles. The 21-year-old then joined Christian Harrison for the mixed doubles, where the American pairing were bested by Katarzyna Kawa and Jan Zielinski in two tiebreaks as Poland set up a clash with Switzerland on Sunday and ended the USA's hopes of a third title in 4 years. Poland will now hope to claim a maiden United Cup crown after finishing runners-up to Germany in 2024 and USA last year. World number 4 Gauff had lost 11 of her first 12 meetings with world number 2 Swiatek but then defeated her at the 2024 WTA Finals in Riyadh before triumphing during the final of the 2025 United Cup as USA earned a 2-0 victory over Poland. Gauff then trounced Swiatek 6-1, 6-1 in the semi-finals of the Madrid Open last May while she was the much stronger player during Saturday's straight sets win. Ahead of a potential meeting in Melbourne during the first Grand Slam of the year from January 18th. The American took a 4-1 lead in the first set, and although Swiatek rallied to make it 4-4 by winning 12 consecutive points, Gauff stopped the rot by holding serve and then claimed a decisive break. Gauff rushed 5-0 up in the second set before an error-strewn Swiatek staved off 3 match points to avoid being bageled, but that only delayed the inevitable. "I didn't let the opportunities that I had on the first few times I had match points get away from me," said Gauff. "She played well. Maybe there was one error on the backhand, but after that, she played the better tennis. But I knew that how I was playing the whole match I would get it done." Still, it is now Swiatek, not Gauff, targeting United Cup glory. Bencic deals with pressure to take Switzerland into first final. Switzerland are into their first United Cup final following a 2-1 victory over Belgium in which Belinda Bencic won both of her matches. The Swiss women's number 1 defeated Elise Mertens in singles and then combined with Jakob Paul to see off Mertens and Zizek Bergs 6-3-0 to 6-10-5 in the deciding mixed doubles after Bergs had beaten veteran Stan Wawrinka in the men's singles. Bencic, the world number 11, has now won all 8 United Cup matches she has played in, 4 in singles and 4 in doubles, and said afterwards, "I was so stressed, I really wanted to do well. I felt so much pressure to not let my team down. It feels like 170 kilos fell off my shoulders. I was really focused on myself, on breathing, and I'm super happy that I stayed tough in the important moments." Sabalenka reaches third straight Brisbane final. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka has reached the final of the Brisbane International for the third year in a row, and will now face Marta Kostyuk in Sunday's showpiece. Sabalenka, who won this event in 2025 after losing to Elena Rybakina in the final the previous season, beat Karolina Muchova 6-3, 6-4, snapping her 3-match losing streak against the Czech. Kostyuk then booked a showdown with the top seed by defeating 4th seed Jessica Pegula 6-0, 6-3, securing a third straight win over a top 10 opponent. The Ukrainian overcame Amanda Anisimova in the last 16 and then Mira Andreeva in the quarterfinals, also in straight sets. In the men's final in Brisbane, top seed Daniil Medvedev will take on Brandon Nakashima after the players saw off Alex Michelsen and Alexander Kovacevic respectively in straight sets in the semi-finals. Coco Gauff walked onto the court with a familiar calm, the kind that comes from knowing you belong in the biggest moments. Across the net stood Iga Swiatek, a rival who once seemed almost immovable, a benchmark for excellence and consistency in women's tennis. Yet for the 4th match in a row, the script flipped again. Gauff did not just beat Swiatek, she reaffirmed a changing balance of power, even as the night ended with heartbreak for Team USA at the United Cup. From the first ball, the match carried the tension of a rivalry that has quietly become one of the sport's most compelling. Swiatek, relentless and precise, tried to dictate with her heavy topspin forehand. Gauff, quicker, looser, and sharper than ever, absorbed the pressure and redirected it. Every rally felt like a negotiation between past and present, Swiatek's era of dominance against Gauff's accelerating ascent. What stood out was not just Gauff's athleticism, which has long been elite, but her patience. Where she once rushed, she now waited. Where she once reacted, she now anticipated. Her backhand, compact, fearless, unbreakable, repeatedly exposed gaps in Swiatek's patterns. Each clean strike seemed to whisper a message: "I've figured this out." As games ticked by, Swiatek searched for answers. She changed depth, altered angles, pushed forward, then retreated. Gauff met every adjustment with composure beyond her years. There was no panic, no visible doubt. This was not the exuberant teenager announcing herself anymore. This was a fully formed competitor, one who understood exactly how to win against one of the toughest opponents in the game. When match point arrived, it felt almost inevitable. Gauff sealed it with authority, a final exchange that captured the essence of the contest: resilience, speed, and belief. 4 wins in a row over Swiatek is no coincidence. It is a statement, and one that reverberates far beyond a single match. For Gauff, it confirmed that her growth is real, measurable, and ongoing. For Swiatek, it served as a reminder that dominance in tennis is always temporary, always contested. And yet tennis, especially team tennis, has a way of softening individual triumphs with collective disappointment. Despite Gauff's heroics, the United States United Cup campaign came to an abrupt end. Poland, buoyed by depth and unity, found a way through. While Gauff delivered her point with brilliance, the broader battle slipped away from Team USA. The format, unforgiving and swift, allowed little room for recovery. In the end, it wasn't about one player's excellence, but about the margins that decide team competitions. For Gauff, the moment was bittersweet. She had done everything asked of her, conquered a rival who once loomed large, and proven again that she thrives under pressure. But as the teams shook hands, the reality set in. Her tournament was over, not by her own racket, but by circumstance. Still, there was no sense of defeat in her posture. If anything, the match felt like a promise. Beating Swiatek 4 times in succession is not just a statistic, it's a signal that Gauff is shaping the next chapter of women's tennis. She is no longer chasing the summit, she is standing on it, looking around, daring others to push her off. For the United States, the early exit will sting, raising questions about depth, chemistry, and execution. For Poland, it was a triumph of balance, proving that tennis may celebrate stars, but teams win tournaments.